On this episode of By the Wayside, I speak with Fantastic Four writer Ryan North. There is also an Omar Recommends, and we've got lots on this episode, so don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to this episode of By the Wayside. I am with now comic book writer and New York Times bestselling author Ryan North. Ryan,
That's me.
Thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. You go ahead. You go nuts. That's the beauty of the show. It just, things exist, things happen.
We're live. See you, Jen.
I had said right at the start of the episode, or actually off camera, that things just happen. That's the beauty of when we do episodes here at Wayside Comics and Cocktails. Sometimes the shop is open. That was weird that my brain stopped mid-word there. Sometimes the shop is open, sometimes it's not. So, you know, people coming and going, buying comics, they'll be buying hot chocolates, they'll be doing whatever. And it's always fun. The beauty of having a show in a living environment. I think that's what sets this show apart.
We're not in a sterile environment.
That's right. I never thought about that before. You're right. Ryan, we're going to get right into the questions.
All right.
No holds barred today. Star Trek Lower Decks.
Yes.
Jughead and Squirrel Girl.
Yes.
You've written all of those, and there seems to be an affinity for humorous writing. Is that intentional?
Yeah. It's funny. Writing is something I enjoy. It's not necessarily easy, but it's fun. And I used to say, like, the thing I love about writing comedy is probably the same that you'd get writing pornography, wherein your body tells you when you're doing it right. Like, I'm trying to make myself laugh.
Yes, go on.
And there's like this physical response, like, oh, this works. Like, I always say, like, I'm writing for someone who shares my sense of humor. Like, I can't tell a joke sense of that I don't have, but I can tell a joke that makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Which is why when I write, it's alone where no one can see me, because it's super embarrassing to be typing and like, ha, ha, ha. No one needs to see that.
Yes.
But it's funny. I did an interview with my alumni, my student interviewer.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, I'm writing for anyone who shares my sense of humor. And they printed that as I'm writing for anyone who has a sense of humor.
Oh.
It's a way more egotistical thing to say.
If you like laughing, read my stuff.
That's me. The other thing that I love from that interview is they asked, like, where do you get your ideas? And I said, oh, I have this this giant text file of, you know, snippets of dialogue or ideas I'd like to explore. Like, just like if I'm facing a blank sheet of paper, I can look at that instead.
Yeah.
And the interviewer was like, makes sense, wrote this down. And it reached web and print as not I have a giant text file, but I kind of slur my words when I speak. It came out as what they heard was I have a giant textile, like a rug. But I look at it like, that's such a better answer. Where do you get your ideas? Oh, I have a big rug. And I look at the rug
of ideas.
Yeah, and I look at it and I go, interesting. And I write, it's such a better answer.
So Ryan, what I'll do though is I'll make sure to completely misquote you for this entire episode. So whenever you see snippets of it afterwards, or I go to promote this, it'll always be, you know,
giant textile.
Ryan uses textiles to get his ideas. Ryan is only funny to everybody else.
Yep.
How has your impressive level of education and intelligence aided you in your fictional writing?
I want to stress that I did not write these questions. They sound very like I wrote them. Right.
But they're all vetted though.
Yeah. As a handsome man who's also very smart, how do you do it all? What was the question? Using your education in comics?
Well, I'll ask again. How has your impressive level of education and intelligence aided you in fictional writing?
That's okay.
It's a two-parter.
It's a two-parter. So I do have a master's in computational linguistics, which is a field of computer science concerned with getting computers to generate language. And I have used that when I was writing Squirrel Girl. I made her a computer science major.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, because I was going to make her an English major. And my wife, Jen, who you saw at the start of the show,
yes,
she was like, well, you didn't study English. You studied computer science. Why are you making this hard on yourself? And it's so much more interesting if this young woman is a CS major instead of an English major.
Yeah.
And I was like, excellent points. And so it made it very easy to write her college experience, because I had also done that. And I think it's in the Squirrel Girl Beats Up the Marvel Universe graphic novel. There's one panel where she's working on an assignment. And if you look at the computer screen, there's an answer to a question that I wrote when I was working on this. So it's like actual science in there. So I think it's fun when it's actual science. I think it's fun when you're in a comic book universe and, you know, crazy stuff happens, but you can ground it in the real.
Yeah.
It makes it, I think, more interesting. So
well, it's relatable too, because people can understand that person is like they could see like the questions in front of, like the character can see the questions in front of them, and then that person reading and be like, oh, I get how they're struggling. It really is write what you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's better than that. It's setting it up so the character is doing what you already know. So
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't make an English major, made her a computer science Ryan North type major. Perfect.
Ryan, so we know that you obviously do web comics. You write web comics. You write comic books. You also write books, and I don't know how to describe prose books. But your book, How to Take Over the World, applies real life to supervillainry.
Yes.
With your scientific educational background and research into how to take over the world, in quotes, for the book, do you feel like you are the perfect candidate for the next megalomaniacal real world evil conqueror?
Oh boy, I love this. Just the next one. Like, there's going to be one. We can't stop it.
Yes. Are you that person?
No, because I have too much of a grounding in ethics to do this.
That's fair enough.
But that was the fun of the book, right? Is like, the idea of the book was, let's take comic book plots, like a secret base, and how do you actually achieve this with actual science and technology? So it led to some very suspicious Google searches. I have searched for like, my first search is, this is for a book, and my next search is, how to get rid of a body. And you get some pretty good answers where like, this is good. All I will say is that your largest entry to the municipal sewer system is your toilet. So you probably want to remove your toilet and stuff things down that drain. What I read, again, it's just some guy on the internet. Who can say?
I'll have on the screen for educational
purposes only.
For educational purposes.
But I haven't gotten any knocks on my door or anything.
Well, so. we had talked that you are 6'6"
and a half.
But
I only say a half because my dad's 6'6".
So I'm saying you added the half because that's evil. So I'm just saying you're a tall individual. You know, you're educated, and you're a New York Times best-selling author. So there is this. I'm telling you, you are steeped to be taking over the world, Ryan North. Ryan North.
You know what is evil? Is as a tall man, some guys are sensitive about their height.
Okay.
And so if a guy's like, oh no, I'm 6'2", as a guy who's 6'6", say, no, that's impossible because I'm 6'2". So you've got to be like,
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like I say I'm 6 feet, but I'm really only like 5'11". You know what I mean?
Yeah. But a tall guy like, no, I'm 6 feet. I'm 6 even. Yeah. So you can't be 6'2".
That's kind of like going on a date and you tell someone, you're like, well, I'm a 6 foot man, and they stand up to you and you're like, you're not 6 feet. You're like, this date is going terrible.
Sure. Yeah.
Ryan, one more question before we throw to a break.
Sure.
In a world run by Dr. Doom, would Pokemon still exist?
Okay, this is where I have to reveal that I'm a fake geek guy because I never played Pokemon. Like, I'm aware of them. I know Pikachu. I know the 3 buff dudes who are like, their heads coming out of the ground.
Yep. Diglett. Omar, is that correct?
The 3 buff dudes in Pokemon with their heads coming out of the ground?
Doug Trio. Okay, Doug Trio.
I know that. So I don't know enough about Pokemon to know what Dr. Doom would approve or disapprove of them, but I do know that Dr. Doom is like a
megalomaniacal, award-winning writer.
Say it once more.
Megalomaniacal. Writer,
not a speaker. Exactly. Megalomaniacal egoist. I think Doom would want to keep his population happy and distracted, and I think Pokemon video games are great for that. So I don't think he'd have an issue with it. But I don't know enough about the Pokemon lore to know like if there is something there that goes against Dr. Doom. Like there's a Pokemon who's like, I hate men who dress up like robots in capes.
Interesting.
Then he might have an issue with that.
Interesting. I never thought about that. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. We got lots more with Ryan North right after this.
This is By the Wayside, and we'll be right back.
Thank you again for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Award-winning writer Ryan North is with me today. I want to make sure
get out of bed unless someone says award-winning to me like 4 times. 4 times.
I have a text chain. I make sure all of my friends text me to tell me that. Yeah. Well, not me, you. I've won 0 awards. Actually, I won 1 art award back in 1989.
Well, that's the thing. Award-winning doesn't really say. It says something. The one I hate the worst or the most, I guess, is long running. Like he's got the long running webcomics. All it says is like you didn't quit. It's not really a compliment. It's more just an observation.
Interesting. So it's really funny that we're talking about awards because my next question has to do with awards. Hugo, Eisner, and Harvey Awards. As a winner of these awards,
yes,
what feels more accomplishing? Winning these or finally finishing your 100-page thesis on computational measures of the acceptability of light verb constructions? First of all, Ryan, before I don't mean to interrupt you while I I do mean to.
Let me ask a question, but before you answer.
What?
Okay, so that is so this thesis I did in 2003, 2005, and that was focused on generating things like take a walk, give a smile. These constructions, there's two verbs, take and smile, or give, take and walk, or give and smile.
Okay.
And the of taking a walk has some element of taking, but the semantics are bleached a little bit. Like it's not, you don't really take anything. You give a smile, there's some elements of giving, but it's not really like you haven't received anything.
Oh, Brian.
So like, okay, but you can take a walk, you can take a stroll. Can you take a cavort? Can you take a meander? These words are semantically grouped. They have similar meanings, but there's some complexity there. If you want to generate them, you want to have a computer say, no, that take a walk is a reasonable thing to say, but take a meander is a bit weird. We need to have some metric to measure that computationally.
That's wild. I've never thought about it like that.
We don't think it comes to us naturally. It comes to us easy.
But the idea that meander and walk are essentially the same thing.
But you can't take a meander.
That's wild,
right?
That's gonna blow my mind.
You can give a smile. You can't really give a grin. You kind of can. So we're trying to capture that computationally. Spoiler alert for this 100-page thesis. We came up with this really complicated measure, and it did okay. We raised the state of the art, the precision and recall by like 20%. It was great.
Awesome.
But what worked almost as good as a really smart measure was just searching on the internet for take a walk and then take a star walk, star being a wild card. It's like take a long walk, take a pleasant walk. If you had a reasonable construction, you'd expect to sometimes see take a long walk, sometimes see take a meandering walk.
Yeah.
Take a really nice walk, so 2 stars.
Whoa.
So if you look for those results, you can just draw the length of the curve, those 2 points. Take a walk and take a star walk, take a long meandering walk. But if they don't exist, like take a meander and take a long happy meander, those 2 lines should be about the same because they're both noise.
Weird.
So the slope of the line in those searches was almost as good as a really clever computational measure, which just shows the benefit of throw a bunch of data at something, which is where we get large language models. You throw data at something and it forgives a lot of sins.
Wow, that's wow. When you put it in like the perspective of like the visual,
it's just the slope of a line.
That's crazy. Wow, that's really blowing my mind today.
Yeah.
So,
anyway, what was your question? We're talking about light verb constructions.
What were you more happy about? Winning those amazing awards or finally finishing your 100-page thesis?
So finishing a thesis, it's a 2-year project, and that feels good to finish, but it's also always going to be anticlimactic. As you finish it, there's no real you finished it. You get some edits, you do those last things, you print it. I guess when you submit the printed thing, but it's like a series of little checkpoints. There's no big, you're done,
Yes.
Here's your balloons and everything. Awards, and this sounds like such a line because everyone says it, but it's true. In most cases, the real honor is being nominated because that is the juried thing. You have people, your peers saying which was the best work this year.
Yeah.
Most awards, the Eisners and the Hugos, and I think the Harveys too, people vote. It becomes a popularity contest. And so it's nice to win a popularity contest, but like if you lose a popularity contest, you did get that juried nomination. That's what really, really
there's some recognition in it. No matter what way it sways, there's always some recognition.
Yeah. And so I say this as a guy who's won them because I feel like people who don't win say it. People are like, oh well, you would have liked to win. But it's true. Like it is nice to be nominated. That's a real honor of it.
But I mean you've won and lost. So I mean it makes sense.
I've been on both sides. The thing that was the most lucky for me, I think, was I won an Eisner the first year I was nominated.
Nice.
And then it's just like, okay, that's checked off. And then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm happy to have won. I think it would bother me if I was nominated like 5 times and didn't win, because I'd be like, what am I doing wrong?
Like the Leo DiCaprio of Eisner Award nomination?
Yeah. So that was the nice way it fell out that way. But to answer the question, they both feel good. One is a surprise. So you get that moment of like, oh, I won, because you don't know until they tell you, they call your name out. And the other is the climax of years of work, which is more deeply satisfying, but there's no real, you don't get an award, you don't get to go and give a little speech.
Don't you get your letters after your name though, right? After a thesis?
Yeah, but I don't put them anywhere. Like, no, hi, I'm Ryan North, BCS MSc. Nice to meet you. Like,
hold on, let me double check. Did you write that on every guest that comes in? I say, can you please write down your name and how you want it to appear? You didn't write your
Ryan. Can you imagine if I said, oh, just refer to me as Ryan North, Bachelor of Computer Science, Master of Science? Like,
it's hilarious.
I forget it so much. When I wrote, so there's How to Take Over the World, they talk about it. A book before that was called How to Mend Everything. And it's a science book. It's about, the premise is you've rented a time machine, you've gone back time, your time machine is broken. And this is the repair guide for that time machine. And the first page is like, you're never going to fix this time machine. It's the most complicated machine you'll ever made. You can't go back to the future. Here's how I bring the future back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a book about like reinventing stuff from scratch, technologies from scratch. A lot of fun to research, a lot of fun to write. I sent it to my editor, and she was like, do you have anything we can put on the back of the book to give you credibility as not just a webcomic guy. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't.
As a not just a wackadoodle.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh wait, I forgot. I have a master's degree in science. And then that felt so suspicious that like I was making it up.
Yeah.
That 10 minutes later, I emailed her again, like, here's a photo of my degree. I swear it's real. I said that, I'm like, that's even more suspicious. I'm just digging my grave.
You could have just showed her your tapestry.
I should have showed her my tapestry.
Yeah.
A little bit of
and then they would know, right?
Yeah.
If someone has tapestry about ideas,
yeah,
I think it's
my
amazing.
textile.
Ryan, you've done a lot of work with different characters over the years. You've won awards utilizing those characters.
Mm-hmm.
You've done a large thesis that I've already forgotten the name of, and I'm not going to say it again because it's
computational measures the acceptability of light verb constructions.
How many times have you said that in your life?
Very rarely. No one asks about it. It doesn't come out. You write a thesis that goes into the world, and then you see if people cite it, and that's basically it. I'm part of the knowledge of the humanity.
I'm going to write a thesis. Is there a character you'd like to write?
I don't really walk around with like, this is my Batman story.
Yeah.
For a couple of reasons. The main one being that if you have this, Batman's always changing. If you have this Batman story, it might have been great in 1993 when you thought about it, but Batman's a different place in 2025. So part of the job, I think, of being a writer for the big two, or anyone who's got someone who wants to write a comic for them, is you have to be able to look at this character for the first time and be like, what do I find interesting about this person?
Yeah.
I don't always succeed. I was asked to pitch on Green Arrow in like 2012, 2013, when I was like, give me the weekend. And I read a bunch of Green Arrow comics, and I was like, I don't think I have any good ideas for this guy. Not that it's a bad character. I love him, but like, I didn't have anything that felt fresh and compelling. And so I wrote back and was like, I'm sorry, I don't have a good pitch for you, which I thought was a very professional thing to do. But I think more commonly people just pitch and hopefully they can make it good. Like,
I
polish this up.
Well, it's nice that you're self-aware enough and you could say like, this isn't for me. I think that's important too, to be sort of a little humbling, I guess, in the fact that, you know, like, you know, when something doesn't fit right.
Well, I think the advantage I have is I came up, like we're talking about through webcomics, like webcomic dinosaur comics, which I still do, but that was all I ever really wanted to do.
Yeah.
And sort of fell sideways into doing this other stuff. And so I'm not one of those guys who sees like, oh, if I can just write for Marvel and DC, that'll be the peak of my career.
Yeah.
Because once you think like that, they can see it and they're like, oh, this guy really wants to work for us. We can control him this way. I'm like, it's a nice side gig. I mean, it's not really a side gig anymore, but it's something that I kind of approach as without the preciousness of the, like, I love Batman, I love Spider-Man, I love these people, but I've never thought in my life until I was doing it, one day I could write these characters.
Yeah.
And so when I got the email, like, do you have a pitch for Fantastic Four? I didn't have a pitch for Fantastic Four, but I could write stories for these characters without being feeling like this is my one shot. Like, Fantastic Four, I'm going since the 60s. This is Stan Lee, Jack Kirby. Now it's my turn. Like, if you think like that, it's paralyzing. You think, okay, there's a stretchy guy, there's a rubber guy, there's a fire guy, an invisible woman. What can I do with that? You can approach it like without the weight of the expectations around you.
Interesting.
And those expectations can be crushing. It's like,
I could believe that. Yeah.
If you think I'm going to write Fantastic Four, that's paralyzing. But if you think, okay, what can we do with these characters that happen to be called Fantastic Four? You can have a lot more freedom.
Hi, I'm Jordan Middlebrook, host of By the Wayside and Technology Hates Me. And why does technology hate me? Because you'll note that the interview with Ryan North cuts off like immediately. There was 3 minutes of that interview that got cut off because, again, technology hates me. And what did you miss in that interview? We talked about his contribution to the Fantastic Four movie, the recent Fantastic Four movie. We also talked about how he got a special thanks in the end credits, which was really cool. And we also bonded over our love of Galactus. I love Galactus, he loves Galactus, and there was an amazing high five, and you missed it. So you got that proxy high five, and what else did I say here? Anyway, like, share, follow, subscribe. On with the show. Is this the right way? I don't know. Yeah, it is. Welcome back to this episode of By the Wayside. On this segment, excuse me, talk too much. On this segment, it's the Omar Recommends, where shopkeeper, shop owner, and purveyor of Wayside Comics and Cocktails, Omar Sayer, is here. And he's around somewhere. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. I was talking too much. He's got a thing to recommend. Omar, you are here though, right?
I may be around.
He's around. See, because I didn't look behind me, and I can't see what's happening behind me. So this is the thing that we put down.
He doesn't know all the things we do behind him. Like, what's happening back here?
There's like bunny ears. There's ghosts and goblins and ghouls and Santa elves and
cryptids and all kinds of folklore happening back here.
Imagine the Bigfoot just kind of like wandered across and he's just like, comic books. Comic books.
Well, you just never seen it.
Oh, it's like the Pokeroo.
Yeah.
What would the comic book version of Pokeroo be called? Oh, I really put you on the spot.
I really don't know.
Let's
It's really anything you want it to be because you're creating a new character, Jordan.
Bindaroo. Because comics are bound. They're binded.
Okay.
Bindaroo. Take that to the bank. Omar, I know that during your segments, you recommend things. Do you have something to recommend today?
I do have something to recommend. I mean, that's what this is all about, right?
Yeah.
Well, what do I have to recommend? Today's a big one. Today I'm recommending... I don't even know if I'm going to be in frame for this. Wednesday Comics.
Literally and figuratively big.
Yeah, it's huge. You know, sometimes when you're talking about comics, you're talking about art. Size does matter. Wednesday Comics was an awesome experiment that they did back around like 2009. It is a really lovely selection of comics. So essentially what they were doing when this came out was they wanted to do an experiment where they wanted to publish comics as they were originally done, which is in newspaper size, as newspapers, on newsprint. And they would do sort of like the funnies would do. They'd have like a little segment every week, and they would give you a whole story over the course of 12 weeks. So every week you'd get a newspaper, and you'd fold it open, big newspaper size, and there's 12 stories. There'd be 12 pages in that newspaper, and you get 1 page of story on each one, with some really amazing creative teams and taking all these, signature DC characters. So you got like Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Kamandi, Metamorpho, Wonder Woman, Sergeant Rock, The Flash, the Demon, Hawkman, Adam Strange.
I was going to say, did you memorize these? And
It's
then
on the back of
I
the book.
realized it's on
Definitely
the
helps. But there really are some great creative teams here. You got like Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Rizzo doing Batman. You got Lee Bermejo on Superman. You have Paul Pope doing Adam Strange. But it is a really lovely book, and it really kind of distills down the essence of what makes comics, which is just that beautiful, simple, sequential storytelling with big bump, like really cool artwork that really captures the eye. And it was, again, just 12 weeks of getting 1 page of story every week, and it was absolutely fantastic. It's very experimental for a lot of these guys in terms of how they were doing their art, but it's just a lot of fun, and these stories are amazing. I highly, highly recommend checking it out. I love the size of it too.
I liked flipping through it. I know that here at Wayside Comics, it was on the little
So we have it
table.
on the coffee table. Here,
Yeah.
Open it to a Paul Pope page and Supergirl's over here. But really cool layouts and cool styles to tell these stories that are just absolutely fantastic.
I find it, even though the size is kind of, you open it up and it's very bombastic and it's in your face, but there's something very easily digestible about reading this single page like story. I know that it continues on, but there's just something digestible about reading that one sort of page and moving on to the next. And I really like it. There's a great connection between artwork and story in this
100%.
format.
And like you can really see that they're trying to tell as much of a full story as they can within that single page. Like there is a lot going on, and like it gets you excited for the next one, but it's giving you enough, and it's really wetting the palate. So if you love comics, or you're interested in comics and you want to see sort of it distilled to its kind of bare essence, this is a great example of what that is, with some absolutely amazing creative. I can't stress that enough, how awesome the creative teams on this book are. But yeah, Wednesday Comics is just so much fun, and it's what comics are all about, and that's why I love this book so much. And it should be read this big because the art deserves to be seen that big.
Yep.
And that's what makes it really grandiose as well. But definitely check out Wednesday Comics. It is a top 10 book for me. Like, I really enjoy every story in this. There's obviously like the story quality. It depends what you're into. I'm going to say it that way because it really is. Like, some characters might not excite you as much, but you do also get to discover some characters that aren't just like the big three or like the Justice League characters. The Kamandi segment with Ryan Sook is fantastic. I always love Sergeant Rock. Adam Strange, again, Paul Pope doing the Adam Strange segment is just chef's kiss. It's so freaking good. Wednesday Comics, check it out. Wednesday also happens to be the day new comics drop every week. So
I get it.
Come in on Wednesday.
Awesome.
Check out your new comics.
Hey, Omar, we're not going to leave the Omar Recommends segment because we had talked off camera about you recommending something else from a friend of the show.
Oh, yes.
Did you bring that? Because
I forgot.
you can
hold on.
You go and do
Be
your
back
thing.
in a flash.
That's the beauty of this show.
So what I have for you guys today is BLITZ magazine from our friends over at the Raid Studio. This is the magazine for independent creators, but really cool magazine. Lots of amazing interviews with some independent creators, some comic segments, promos on what's coming out. You like comic books and independent comics or where you're at, or you're interested in diving into that. Really, really great magazine that kind of shows what's happening in, I think, what they call the Creatorverse.
Ooh.
And yeah, you get to see a lot of different characters from different people, a lot of interviews just talking about different projects. And it really does hype you up to see just like what's happening within the medium itself.
Yeah.
And like I said, the comic segments in there, they showcase different artists and writers are fantastic. The articles are very well written and very exciting to read from the people that they got in the magazine. But it really harkens back to that era of like Wizard Magazine, where that was like your source to get that kind of information. I know in the era of the internet, you can search, you can go on Instagram, you can do whatever, but having it all laid out and with a presentation like this is truly wonderful, and it feels just good. Yeah, like I said, you got wicked cover, you have so much creativity in here, especially if you're an up-and-coming creator. Something like this I think is essential reading just to see what everybody else is doing. But even if you have a passing interest, this presents itself in a very premium way, and you will not be disappointed to pick it up. And right now, we're giving away copies.
My next question was, can we get copies here at Wayside Comics and Cocktails? It's like you've done this before.
I want to try, man.
The epitome of salespeople.
Yeah, we do this by the wayside every now and again.
Every now and then. Again.
Yeah.
I don't talk anymore. Omar, I thank you for your expertise on comic books. I thank you for your expertise on promoting the work from RAID, which is the Royal Academy of Industry and Design. Nope. Illustration and Design. Dang it!
But yeah, definitely go check out the Raid Studio. Check out their social media. Lots of amazing artists and writers working out of the Raid. Check out BLITZ because there's so many. There's a whole other network of amazing creators to check out from here. I mean, that cover by Jim Moffat's incredible.
Yep.
Yeah, come to the shop. Check out some comics. See what the world of imagination is at your fingertips. It's fantastic.
Come with me, and you'll see a world of pure imagination. Something else, Gene Wilder. And Omar, you can say your part now.
I think I took the wrong medicine. Something's happening. But on that note, check out BLITZ. Check out By the Wayside Show. If you're watching, you are, but definitely check out the previous episodes. They're fantastic. Come by the shop. Talk to us. It's a good time. We'll catch you guys by the wayside.
World of pure imagination. There's lots more up on this episode. Don't go anywhere.
I'm living my nightmare. I'm in a musical.
Not yet.
Oh, God.
It feels like I haven't recorded an episode of By the Wayside at Night in a really long time. And while I'm recording this episode specifically, out here on Main Street, owner and purveyor of Wayside Comics and Cocktails, Omar Sayer, is standing out there and he's making goofy faces at me in the window here. So if you're ever in the vicinity and you see me recording an episode of By the Wayside, I encourage you to walk by. And he wrote something very rude on his phone and is showing it to me right now, and I cannot repeat it because this is a family show. No, I'm not reading that out to you. I really want to thank my guest today, Ryan North. There was a lot of awesome things I learned about him. He's super tall, which is super amazing and super intimidating. Super smart, also intimidating. Again, I apologize for the snafu, the technology snoop. It happens. If you're looking to follow along the show here, we're going to go like this. Here is all of the social media stuff, the website, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Follow along. I encourage you to tell your friends, tell your family, and your support means the world, and your support helps us fix the technology problems. I'll just say that. Thanks again to Ryan. Thanks again to Omar for letting me record my episodes of By the Wayside here at Wayside Comics and Cocktails. I, of course, am Jordan Middlebrook, the host of the show, and I will catch you by the wayside.